And within 6 months of juicing and emotional trauma, I was cancer-free for the first time.
And
I've since
that's all you did?
That's all I did. Yes. Fasting, keto vegan, lifestyle changes. If you were to ask me what I did, is it fasting, keto vegan, juicing, emotional trauma. There's no pharmaceuticals, no drugs, and I was healthy and vibrant.
Welcome to the Beljanski Cancer Talk Show, where integrative science and holistic healing come together. I am Sylvie Beljanski, and in each episode, we explore nutrition, lifestyle, mental health, and research-backed approaches to support the whole person through cancer and chronic diseases. Owen Hemsath is known online as Cancer Thriver Owen, and he makes viral videos about his experience through stage 4 terminal cancer and becoming cancer-free with alternative and integrative care. Today, Owen is a passionate and vocal leader in the health movement. His company does marketing for integrative health experts looking to grow their reach and transform lives. Owen also runs a thriving cancer support group where patients learn integrative modalities. Owen, welcome to the Beljanski Cancer Talk Show. I'm delighted to have you today, and I think it's always uplifting to hear about people who have been able to beat cancer.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about you. What cancer did you have? How long ago was that?
Yeah.
And please share a little bit about your cancer journey.
Yeah, I'm happy to, and thanks for having me on the show today. I was diagnosed in 2015 with stage 3 thymoma cancer, and they told me to do chemotherapy and radiation. So I did everything that they told me to do. I never did a Google search on the chemo. They told me, "Don't search it on Google," you know?
And so why do you think you were so compliant and so the authority and the hospital, and why did you accept not to search? Because I would think everybody would first look at Google.
Yeah, I was scared, and they came at me with such confidence, like, "We're gonna get this. We're gonna get you through it. Don't Google. You're just gonna get scared if you Google." And, okay. I didn't know anything about cancer or
Okay.
health I remember drinking alkaline water and thinking, "I can't get cancer because I'm drinking alkaline water." And it's foolishness. So when they told me you have cancer, it's like, "What?" Um, so I did all the chemo, I did all the radiation. I put my body through hell, and
Can you tell us a little bit more what your side effects were that you experienced?
oh, it was terrible. I mean, I was doing the 6 cycles of chemotherapy, and it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, I got Neulasta, which is like a vitamin supplement or something, like a blood cell supplement.
It is Neulasta is supposed to keep your white blood cells up at
Yes,
a decent level because they are destroyed by chemotherapy.
it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad getting that Neulasta. And then they told me, "Eat what you want." So I'm going to chemotherapy. It took 2 weeks for my hair to fall out, and it was dark and lonely, and no matter who's there with you, and no matter who comes to comfort you later, there is a darkness that associates with chemotherapy. And I remember just being thin, bald, my sweat smelled like chemotherapy, my whole body smelled like sickness and illness, crying in the shower over the pain that was going on in my body. And I just kept going. It was like, I'm gonna do what the doctors they're wearing white lab coats. They went to better colleges than I went to. This is the most expensive equipment on the planet. I used to tell people, Sylvie. I used to say to people, they're using the power of the sun, moon, and stars to heal my body. I had no idea that it was just dumping toxic radiation into my body. And I'm not 100% anti-chemo. I think that chemo can play a role in especially low dose in some diagnoses, but I didn't know what I was doing. I just trusted them. So I came out of that with a condition called antiphospholipid syndrome. So the radiation had crushed my superior vena cava, the main blood vein that carries blood from up here down to your chest and to your limbs, fried like bacon. So I was having these lightheaded spells. I would stand up. I thought I had POTS syndrome. I would stand up and get dizzy. Whoa. Room would spin around and it would normalize. After about 4 or 5 months, I went to the hospital and they're like, you got blood clots all over your body. We can't do what we normally do because your SBC is fried. So they had to go in and individually remove every single blood clot from my arms, my legs. You should have seen me. My body was swollen. I was in bed for days like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? So this is what chemotherapy and radiation did. And I lived 4 years like that. I had 3 angioplasties in 4 years. And constantly in and out of the hospital with concerns, ER, what's going on with me? That was 4 years. 2020 hits, COVID, all of that starts coming up. I moved my family out of California into another place where we could be more free. And I was diagnosed like literally the day we emptied our last box. My body started shaking. I couldn't control it. And I couldn't even, I had to like tie it with my rope tie my arms into my chest to feel relief. Or my wife would just hold me to feel relief. And it's like, what is going on? It's out of breath. What is going on? So we go to the ER where they did an x-ray and the doctor came in just pale as a ghost. This is in 2020. He says, you have stage 4 terminal cancer.
When you are facing cancer, you are suddenly facing a myriad of questions. Questions about nutrition, lifestyle, mental and emotional support, and how integrative approaches can work alongside conventional care. The Beljanski Integrative Cancer Conference brings the conversation together in one place. From June 26 to 28, join leading oncologists, integrative physicians, researchers, and survivors in San Diego, California for 3 days of science, informed whole-person cancer care. These live events explore evidence-based integrative strategies, emerging research, and practical tools you can apply immediately while connecting with a community that understands the journey. Whether you attend in person or virtually, this conference is designed to educate, empower, and support informed decision-making. Learn more and reserve your spot at integrativecancerconference.com. Because better outcomes begin with better conversations. Despite everything you had endured.
Yeah. And no one apologized. No one offered me a refund. Nobody showed me the warranty. It was just like, well, that's too bad. We'll see ya. And they sent me home. And it was like up to me to figure it out. We called my doctors in San Diego and they were like, well, that's too bad. Not our problem. And the lack of responsibility. They told me, follow our way, we'll get you out of this. Eat whatever you want. You're going to be fine. And here I am, worse, metastatic cancer in 2020. That's when I decided to find another way. And so I took my concerns to the Lord in prayer. And I was like, God, you're going to have to guide me because I don't know what to do. But I do know that your word says I will not die, but I will live and declare the works of the Lord. So I said, what do you want me to do? And I'm in my backyard crying. I'm in this new town. I didn't know anybody. We didn't know the doctors. And that's when I got this whisper that said, go get a book, you dummy. And that's how God talks to me sometimes. God talks to me the way that I talk to my kids sometimes. He goes, what are you, an idiot? Go Google it. Go look it up. So I did. I went to Amazon and I looked up cancer books. And that's where I found Jane McClellan's book, How to Starve Cancer. And that opened up my life, Sylvie. Like, that book was pivotal for me in understanding that cancer can be defeated, that cancer has fuel. And when you starve it of its fuel, it cannot survive in your body. That book led me to another book, led me to another book, led me to another book. And I began a holistic campaign to defeat cancer. And within a year and a half, my cancer was stable. That's when I began juicing and approaching emotional trauma. I learned about the ACE quiz, Dr. Nasha Winters on a podcast, who has since become sort of like a friend online. I love Dr. Nasha. Introduced me to the ACE quiz. I took the ACE quiz. I scored like a 60, 70%. And it was like, oh my gosh, I'm traumatized, you know? I began working with Megan Van Zyl, who's like this phenomenal cancer therapist, only works with stage 4 patients. And within 6 months of juicing and emotional trauma, I was cancer-free for the first time.
And that's all you did?
That's all I did, yes. Fasting, keto vegan, lifestyle changes. If you were to ask me what I did, is it fasting, keto vegan, juicing, emotional trauma. There's no pharmaceuticals, no drugs, and I was healthy and vibrant. It was a wonderful experience. That's when I began my YouTube channel and my Instagram. And it was like, I need to tell everybody about holistic cancer care.
Absolutely. So how long ago was that?
That was in, let's see. So in 2020, they gave me 2 years to live. By 2022, I was cancer-free, and I've been cancer-free ever since.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And then you are cancer-free, but you look vibrant, healthy, and you are going on podcasts and on conferences.
Yeah, and I
you have
travel.
the energy to share what you have learned.
Yeah, and let me tell you, thank you. I try to keep my appearance youthful. But my immune system has suffered. When I get sick, I don't get sick often, but when I do, I get sick longer than most people. I do need to rest. But I've changed my lifestyle. When I got diagnosed, I was I still am a type A person, right? Ambitious entrepreneur. I need to I always want to be number one and I like to win. And that lifestyle really, was not effective for my health. I like to say I'm cancer-free, but I'm not. You're not like, I don't know. Your body doesn't come out of chemo okay. I still have antiphospholipid syndrome. If I were to play volleyball, which I did, I played volleyball in a backyard barbecue and I got a blood clot on my wrist from a volleyball.
Yeah.
So I don't snowboard anymore. It's my favorite thing to do. And I will snowboard again. But right now,
Not yet.
I'm just being careful because blood clots are a pain to deal with. And I take a pharmaceutical for those when I have one. When I have a blood clot, I take a pharmaceutical. But I want to live as healthy and vibrant as possible. you know,
So now, after having, gone through this journey, what is a message you want to share?
that cancer is beatable and treatable at any age and any stage. It's very important that we know this, that the doctors and the medical system have been so overrun by pharmaceutical profits. They're not even aware. Your doctor is not even aware that everything he or she tells you to do is fueled by the sale of a pharmaceutical product. I don't
Yes,
think doctors are bad people. I think they want to see people healed. But all they're allowed to do is prescribe chemo, radiation, and therapy or surgery. That's all they're allowed by law to do.
absolutely, and especially in California. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why we moved out of California. That's why we moved out. I was born and raised in California. California is my home, but we couldn't thrive there in that medical system. And we couldn't teach our kids. My kids are very holistic kids now. You know, my message is it's not hopeless, but the doctors think it's hopeless because all they see is death. The word cancer means death. I won't even use that word in my home. People say, "You have cancer?" I say, "I don't have anything. I have life and life abundant." And yes, something tried to steal that from me, but I won't own cancer. I don't say I have cancer. And you get what I'm saying? Like, as a patient, you can overcome this, but your doctor at the hospital is not going to be the one who guides you through it. My doctor was very rude and mean to me. She called me stupid.
I'm sorry to hear that. And now that you have moved to another state, have you found another doctor, a
Oh,
holistic doctor you can,
yes.
work with and is listening to you?
Yes. We have built a network of holistic and integrative doctors at beatcancerwithme.com. And that's the website that I started to bring doctors and cancer patients together where they can meet and interview each other, right? So I work with an integrative oncologist in my town where I get vitamin C drips and methylene blue and red lights and all the therapies. I also have an integrative doctor in Arizona that I virtually consult with on a more pharmaceutical side for the blood thinners and things like this. Um, and you know, it's not that expensive. It's like, oh my gosh, you have two doctors. Yes, but one's more of a consultant. The guy in Arizona, he's more of a consultant. Whereas Dr. Jake, I actually go into his clinic and get vitamin C drips and alpha lipoic acid. And I still do that to this day. I go when I need to go. I'll go for a few months and stop and then come back for a few months and stop. But yes, I'm connected to a network of holistic doctors, and there's so many. I look at the lineup at the Beljanski conference, and I know all of those people. So I know many of them, and I've had them on my podcast before. It's very easy to find a holistic doctor, but you as the patient need to be the CEO. You need to take ownership. Like, I see a lot of these husbands who get colon cancer or stomach cancer, and they won't go to their doctor's appointments. They won't read the books, and they're just grumpy. And they tell the wife's like, because the wife will join my group. Well, my husband won't attend the calls, and my husband's not. It's like, that's not a surviving mechanism. You
Yeah,
need to
you
be
need to take
engaged.
ownership of
Yes.
of your health and your disease, absolutely. And how can you address the trauma if you don't want to speak about it and
Yes.
consult anybody? It's never going to happen.
Men really struggle, especially older men. I struggled with the trauma. I'm not traumatized. I had a good childhood. And then Megan asked me a few questions, and I'm like, no, I had a terrible childhood, and it's like the truth sort of comes out. But look, you're not going to save your husband. Going to the conference for your husband's not going to save him. Your husband has to get engaged. This is one of the most pivotal books is Radical Remission by Dr. Kelly Turner. In Radical Remission, she outlines the 10 steps every remission patient goes through. And one of those things, I think number 4 is you have to show up to the doctor's appointments. You have to face it head on. And it's hard, man. I was doing that at first. My wife went to all the appointments while I sat and grumped on the chair. Then I read that book and I was like, I'm going to go to my doctor's appointment. I'm going to learn. I'm going to hear the hard things.
When you are facing cancer, the choices can feel overwhelming. Conflicting advices, endless options, and very little clarity. At Maison Beljanski, everything begins with science. For decades, molecular biologist Dr. Mirko Beljanski studied how specific plant extracts interact with cancer cells, work that continues today through independent research and real-world use. Maison Beljanski offers carefully formulated supplements inspired by that research, along with targeted support for immune health, cellular resilience, digestion, detoxification, and overall wellness. You will also find educational books, organic teas, personalized health coaching, and wellness programs designed to support the whole person, not just the diagnosis. This is not about quick fixes. It's about informed choices, thoughtful formulations, and supporting the body alongside conventional care. Explore the products, the research, and the resources at maisonbeljanski.com, because when science leads, wellness follows. Absolutely. You cannot economize that. You cannot do the proxy. Through a proxy, you cannot heal yourself and address the trauma. There is no shortcut. It's painful, but there is no shortcut.
It's worth it. It's
And
worth
then
it.
you have a different outlook forever on life.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
How would do you think, you look now, the journey has changed you?
I'm a very different person. I'm a better dad. I'm a better husband. I'm a better man. Facing your own mortality changes you. I'm more educated now. I used to believe in commercials. You see a commercial, for drugs. It's like, this will make you, if you've got a skin disease, you need to take this drug. May cause death and gas and will internal bleeding. It's like, I used to believe all of that stuff. I used to believe the government. I used to believe like all of the stuff. But the truth about cancer, I thought cancer was a genetic disease. While I understand that genes play a role, it is a metabolic disease.
Absolutely. That's why there are more and more of them. If it was just genetic, there would be a stable number of cancer. It would not be increasing everywhere.
Yes. And look at all these Instagram doctors. There are these Instagram doctors who hate people like me because their patients are dying. My patients are not. And they're not my patients, but people in my group are living and they hate it. And they say, you're not a doctor and how dare you? And I don't want to be a doctor. Doctors kill 225,000 people a year with no apology, no responsibility, no funeral services covered. You guys overprescribe and misdiagnose. And when people die, you go, next.
Yeah.
So for me, it changed the way I view the world and caused me to ask deeper questions so that I want to live, Sylvie, in the truth, you know? And it's changed me in that way. You start, and here's the thing, I'm not an activist. I'm not trying to change the government. I'm not trying to change pharmaceuticals. I think it all is changing, and I really love what I see happening with Maha and with Robert Kennedy and all these things. I think it's moving in the right direction. But me, I want to raise my kids to be healthy, unplugged from propaganda, and free, you know? And if you guys want to take all your statins and your stuff and eat your fast food, to each his own.
When cancer enters your life, the questions don't stop at treatment. You start asking why, what else, and what more can I do to support my body? At the Beljanski Foundation, we believe cancer care deserves deeper answers, answers rooted in science, not in shortcuts. For decades, groundbreaking molecular research by Dr. Mirko Beljanski explored how specific natural compounds selectively target cancer cells while sparing healthy ones. That work continues today through independent research, education, and global collaboration. At beljanski.org, you will find evidence-based resources, expert-led conferences, books, and conversations that explore integrative approaches to cancer and chronic disease alongside conventional care. Whether you are a patient, a caregiver, or practitioner, this is the place to learn, to question, and to think more expansively about healing. Visit beljanski.org to explore the research, attend upcoming events, and connect with the Beljanski community. Because informed choices begin with credible science. And yet you have created this network of doctors, and you are helping doctors to promote themselves.
Yes.
So how do you explain to us how you went from you don't like doctors to helping doctors to market themselves?
Yeah. So I've been in marketing for 15 years. And I work with a lot of doctors, but also lawyers and, any business owner.
Okay.
They call me for marketing. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm very well known in my space. I speak at conferences. But then I got sick. I got diagnosed, and I was like, I want to work with doctors. I want to help people like live their lives better. So we began to focus on doctors, and here's what I learned about integrative and holistic doctors. They are terrible at marketing. Terrible. There's some who are really good. Dr. Pete Sulak's really good. Dr. Lori Bouchard's really good. But I have a knack for marketing. I know how marketing works. So I built a group of cancer patients. We have about 200 cancer patients in our group. And we do support calls, and we do training calls, and we promote books and events. And we have this great little group. And I thought, what if we could bring these doctors in to do a speech every month? And that's what we started to do. Say, hey, come into my group and do a speech, and invite them to come do business with you. And it was like gangbusters. I have referred so many of my group to Dr. Jake, Dr. Terry, Dr. Lori, and even people like Season Johnson, who's more of a consultant on that side. It was a perfect fit for me, and it was a perfect fit for the patients and a perfect fit for the doctors. So what we do is we bring doctors into the group, and we make YouTube videos for them. We make Instagram videos for them. We send emails. It's a whole system, and it's the future of my business. It's what I want to do. You could see my little YouTube subscribe pillow back there because I've been on YouTube for a long time, been on Instagram for a long time too. But that's what I know how to do. That's my gift. And rather than helping some auto mechanic I want to work with holistic doctors and help people change their lives.
Absolutely, because if you promote the message of good doctors and they reach to more people, I mean, they will not maybe go through the trauma, I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
the difficult journey you have been through, and maybe they won't get cancer in the first
in the
place.
first place. And you know what? Here's what a lot of doctors do. A lot of doctors go on Instagram and YouTube and they just tell you facts. Hey, did you know that cancer is actually a metabolic blah blah? Nobody cares, man, about your facts. They facts play a very small role. It's like genes, very small role. People want to know that you care and that you have experience and that you have a pathway. You I don't care if you know all the things. I want to know as a patient that you're confident and that you have a pathway for me. So when I come in, you're not going to say, I don't know. That's a cancer patient's biggest fear is that because everyone gets told your cancer is rare. Everyone gets told that. I have a whole collection of people. I have a rare cancer. I have a rare cancer. It's like, look, if we all have rare cancers, they're not that rare. And they're prescribing the same 6 chemos for all of them anyway. So this is all part of the fear factory. They go to a holistic doctor and my cancer is rare. My cancer is rare. They want to hear, hey, you're going to live. You're going to be healthy. You're going to be vibrant. And here's the pathway to get there. Doctors don't do this because they're doctors and they're scared. Well, I don't want to tell someone they're going to live. You know, what are you going to tell them? Hey, this might work. Because I went to chemo and they're like, this will definitely work. And then it didn't, and nobody apologized. So you got to believe we need to take our patients and we go, cancer's beatable. It's treatable. I don't care what age. I don't care what stage. We're going to beat this together.
Yes,
And
yeah,
that, it sparks life in people. And they go, I can do this. And when that spark is in your heart, that's 90% of healing is the belief that you can heal.
absolutely. If you don't have this belief, at least at the beginning, you are going nowhere.
Yeah.
But, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much because you have made a business. Your business is also giving back
Yeah, I think so.
because it is. I mean, of course, I'm sure you are making a living of necessarily of what you are doing, but also it's a meaningful business where you are helping doctors who can make a difference to be more visible and easily
Yeah.
found by people who need to connect with them. And I feel that absolutely commendable. And
Thank you. It's the most meaningful thing I've ever done, and I look forward to doing it for the rest of my life. The rest of my long life. But I enjoy what I do and I enjoy working with the doctor. These doctors care. They care. And the patients can heal. And that's the movement I want to be a part of.
sounds wonderful. So we are looking very much forward to having you in San Diego from June, the Beljanski Integrative Cancer Conference,
Yes.
June 26 to 29. You are going to have a booth. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'm going to be speaking on a panel for cancer thrivers and sharing my experience. But I'm also going to have a booth out there. I'm going to be sponsoring the event and looking to meet with patients who are looking to be a part of a group where they can meet with doctors who can help them. So we're going to be very interested to meeting the cancer patients, and I'm going to be very interested in meeting the cancer doctors, therapists, and the health experts, nutritionists, counselors. We don't just work with integrative doctors. Anybody serving the cancer community, holistic and integrative, that's who we want to meet. So we're very excited. San Diego is home for me. So I am excited about coming home and hanging out with Beljanski for a few days and just meeting more people in the space.
Sounds great. To go back to your support groups, it's for everybody all around the country, or they meet only in person? It's virtual. How often do they meet?
Yeah.
Any all kind of cancer? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So it's the Beat Cancer with Me support group, and it's a virtual community. You can check it out at beatcancerwithme.com. And that's my blog and my website. You can see all the links. We have a private app that has a news feed and a discussion board. So you can ask any question and you will not get banned, right? We did this on Facebook and they shut down our questions. You can't ask that. You can't say that. So we built our own app. It's in the App Store. Once you join, we give you a link to download it. And we have monthly calls with Megan. Megan does a quantum healing call every month, which is trauma resolution. We do a prayer call every month, which is a prayer call, prayer requests, and we pray over them. I do a Beat Cancer Q&A every month, which is like, just come on in, ask your questions. We have a lot of case reviews. I'm not a doctor, so I don't have a license to lose. You can ask me anything and I'll give you my honest answer, So we've got patients that'll come in, hey, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And, I'll tell them like, hey, I think you should read this book. I think you should kind of talk to this doctor. Like, I don't think you're doing the right things or whatever the case might be. And then we have guest doctors come in and speak every month. And you get to hear different things from different doctors and we connect you to them. So one of the best parts about the group is you can meet with the doctor over the phone for free. It's a short call, but if there's a fit, you can hire that doctor and work with them either virtually. We've actually had people fly out to meet with some of our doctors because they're maybe in a town where
There is nobody. Yeah.
nobody. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the group, and it's $20 a month to be a part of the group.
What a deal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything you are doing, and very much looking forward to seeing you, meeting you in person
Yes, I can't wait.
in San Diego in June.
I
Thank you
can't
for
wait.
being part of the conference. Thank you for everything that you are doing.
Thanks for having me, Sylvia. It's a real joy.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Belgian Cancer Talk Show. If this conversation supported or inspired you, please follow the podcast, share it with someone who may benefit, and leave a review to help others discover these integrative perspectives. For more resources and to see what we offer, please visit beljanski.org.